Welcome back, guys. It is July 14th. If you're a baseball bettor, this is the day you've been waiting for because you've been jonesing for the last 2 days. If you've never bet on baseball before, we're going to talk about the first half stats this season. Understand, it's not too late to, what I like to say, jump on the money train. MLB is our Millionaire Making Report. You can watch my videos archived online at thesyndicateinsider.com at the Video Vault. You'll see me discussing baseball with such notables as Don Johnson, Dominic Larigio, and the Kenny White. Plus, each week I'm featured on the radio at 1400 AM in Las Vegas with Brian Blessing. And I have 115 radio shows archived right now online for your listening pleasure. The latest release was this Tuesday. Now, All-Star Break separates the men from the boys if you're a professional bettor or you're a fan. Because if you're a fan, you haven't made any wagers for the last 2 days. You're what we call local, not global. If you're a professional sports trader, nothing's changed. You've had WNBA, you've had CFL, you've had international soccer, and baseball just happens to be one of the sports in your portfolio. If you are waiting for football in September and you're saying, oh great, I'm almost a month away or less than 3 weeks away from preseason on the Hall of Fame game August 3rd, understand that this is when you want to make your bankroll great, large, and huge with the second half of the MLB season. The MLB season is the longest sport, 160-plus games, versus the NBA, followed by football. A lot of teams don't try in the first half of the season because they need to save up their ammunition and think of it like a horse race around the stretch they come. Now is when the games matter, the run to the World Series. But let's talk about stats. I've been talking for years, literally 3 decades, about betting baseball and betting dogs, and how if you simply handicap pitchers, not only won't you win, you can't win. Well, let's look at the stats. If you were playing, there's this distinction in baseball between money line and the run line, -1.5 or +1.5. And I'm going to go through these stats with you. In the first half of the season, if you wanted the highest percentage money line wager, that was the home favorite, simply laying the juice at home at 56.98%. I've been talking about the fact that home teams have been dominating on the straight-up win the entire season. If you want to strike out teams each day that you're not going to wager on, it would be best to do so by just eliminating any road teams. If every team that you play is at home, you simply laid the chalk or took the dog, you are 56.98%. But more so, not on home dogs, on home favorites. I'm talking 57%. You only need to win 54% of the time with no money management, betting every game the same to break even. So if you just bet every game the same and you didn't practice proper money management, you still made money betting every home favorite because your record was 514 and 388. That is your result on betting home favorites the first half of the season. So when I said it's been a very wacky year, usually home teams win 50% of the time. That extra 7% built in the first half of the season was huge. Teams, for instance, like the Baltimore Orioles that can't win on the road so far and win every game almost at home. Now, what is your next best bet in terms of the money line games? Overall, favorites as a whole. This year's been very weird because I say dogs win 50% of the time. Not so in the first half of the season. Straight up, all favorites were 54% if you played the home favorites and the road favorites. But it was at a cost. Losing that 3% was huge because away favorites were basically losing a lot of money at 52%. So if you bet an away favorite, you were 216 and 192 laying juice. If you bet a home favorite, you were 514 and 388 laying juice. Again, 57% at home, 52% away. You combine them, you get 54%. That is your money line report. Dogs, honestly, straight up, have been getting crushed this season. It's a very weird season. Home dogs as a whole were 44.2%. Very weird. 580 and 730. 580 dogs won straight up. 730 dogs lost, taking it to 44% in the first half of the season. But your away dogs were 43%. 388 and 514. You basically were breaking even because of the extra huge dog money. A lot of the away dogs are plus 200, plus 300, plus 160, plus 180. So if you're getting a 10-cent line or a 5-cent line instead of a 20-cent line in MLB dogs, you're making an absolute fortune. Home dogs, if you're going to play dogs in the first half of the season, you increase your percentage 3 percentage points from 44% to 47% by playing the home dogs. Because if you played the home dogs, you were 192 and 216. You probably made a little money going 47%, believe it or not. They say 54% is the break-even point. That's if you're laying 110. If you're getting back dog money, you're making a lot of money. So the home dog spot was your spot. Why? Because it goes back to what I said about overall home teams were 54%. So that basically means you want to play any team at home, you want to eliminate all road teams the first half, and your percentages go from 47% on the home dog up to 57% on the home favorites. We're talking 10 percentage points greater playing the home favorite, but the reality is you made a nice bit of money playing those home dogs on the money line. Now, let's talk and move over to ATS. What does ATS mean? Everybody says, MLB, there's no point spread. Not true. Just like in the NHL hockey, you have the run line and you have the money line. The run line is -1.5, +1.5, spotting and handicapping your team. So that basically means that now you're betting on games to lose by 1 run or win by 2 runs, depending on what side you're taking. What was your best bet this season? Well, your best bet in the first half of the season, and these numbers are huge, almost 59% playing away dogs. Wait a minute. I just said before away dogs were 43%. Listen to what I said. Away dogs were 388 and 514. But now I'm telling you, away dogs were 529 and 373 at 58.65%. I just took a percentage from 43% up to almost 59%. That's 13 percentage points greater. How can you do that? Simple. The road dog plus 1.5. I'm going to say it again. The road dog plus 1.5. There's 15 games today being played. 8 of those games give the option of the plus 1.5. So what do I mean by plus 1.5? What I mean by is the Boston Red Sox are at home today, and they're -119. And the New York Yankees are on the road, and they're either plus 109 on a 10-cent line, or, listen, they're plus 1.5 minus 180. They're plus 1.5 minus 180. I said road dog. I didn't say road money line dog. So it's very tricky. A road dog is that you're getting points. You're not getting money. The road dog becomes the road favorite. You're flipping the switch on the money line. I'm here to try to educate you as a professional sports trader, not a professional sports gambler. Understand that while I'm talking to you, soccer's coming in, and we have games that are getting ready to start globally. But I'm trying to educate you guys on the difference between playing with emotion and playing with information. So listen. The best bet is a home favorite, and the best bet is a road dog on the spread. So you can arbitrage, and I'm not doing this for sure, I'm just telling you. If you're going to plug in the stats, you would bet Boston -119 at home. That's a favorite on your pocket, laying 120 to win 100. And then you would lay 180 on the Yankees plus 1.5. If you do that, I want you to understand what you're doing. You're betting both sides of the same game. And you have one trend that is 59%, the Yankees plus 1.5. And then you have the home favorite, which is 57%. You are making two wagers on the same game that you have backed in the first half of the season with 58% and 57%, and now you understand why people make an absolute fortune. It's not about laying heavy juice. It's about fundamentally understanding the numbers. So that away dog is 59%. The home favorite is 58%. Lay 120 on Boston. Take the 180 on the Yankees plus the 1.5. There's a very good opportunity that the Boston Red Sox will win the game by 1. And if that happens, you're going to go 2-0 on the same matchup. And this is what we do and we teach here when you call Mike at the office. The second most profitable trend in playing the run line in the MLB season early in the season was the home dogs plus 1.5. Now remember, when I say dogs, I'm talking about favorite. So what that basically means is this. A lot of square bettors like to lay the run line. They like to take a big favorite and they equalize it and lay the 1.5 runs. The stats in the first half of the season are telling you, laying 1.5 runs, expecting an MLB team to win by 2 runs, you will get killed. You're going to get a huge comeback. Nobody's giving you a free lunch. There's a reason why when you lay 1.5, a favorite becomes a dog, and you could take a favorite minus 150, and now you're laying 1.5, and you're getting plus 130. What do you think it's flipped 80 points for, 80 cents for? Because it's easy to win the game by 2 runs? Remember, if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. Now, you have an advantage when you're playing the run line. A lot of people say, I only play the run line on the road. Well, let's talk about the run line on the road. The run line on the road is taking the favorite and laying 1.5, a big favorite on the road. Even though we established road teams haven't been doing well. So an away favorite against the spread this season is 42%. That means if you took a straight-up favorite or a dog, any road team, and you laid 1.5 runs on the away teams, and the home teams you laid 1.5 runs combined, you were 42%. You lost basically 200 games laying the run line. I'm going to repeat that. You lost 200 games laying 1.5 runs in baseball. How so? 563 wins, 763 losses. What? Say it again. 563 wins, 763 losses. Make your wagers based upon information, not emotion. Every time you consider laying 1.5 because you're going to lay less juice, understand you're down 200 games in the first half of the season doing that. Unbelievable numbers. Now, flip it to the dog side. It's flipped. 763 and 563, taking any team plus 1.5. But if you're going to split them, and you want to look at where you made the most money within the run lines, again, it's the away dog, which is 529 and 373. The away dog is the money line favorite. Taking the road team and playing them plus 1.5 is what you would be doing tonight on the Yankees. On the road, laying big juice. 180 has been your most profitable wager at 529 and 373, 59%. When you flip it and you do what's called the home dog, the home dog has been winning 55%. So the percentages drop almost 4% from 59% to 55% on the home team plus 1.5. But look what happens if you do the favorite side. If you do the favorite, which is you're laying the 1.5 runs as opposed to taking the 1.5 runs. We already established that favorites are down 200 games, but let's split it between home and away. Home, the away favorite is 44%, 190 and 234. 190 and 234, 44%. So you're getting dog money back. You're losing even money on the away favorites. And you're basically down 190 minus 234, whatever that number is, you're down no juice. The away favorite is 44%. There's no reason to be laying 1.5. So you think you're sharp when you take that favorite on the road? Not so. Now, let's talk about away home favorites. Home favorites are 45%, 607 and 719. So that means that team's laying 300, and you at home with some crazy pitcher, and you think you're going to be a wise guy, and you're going to lay that team minus 1.5 at home, even though they don't go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And now it's the top of the 9th inning, and you're rooting for your team to tie it up so they could win by 2 runs in extra innings. You're insane. And your justification is, I'm going to lay 1.5 runs plus 150 instead of laying 250 on the money line. Well, it didn't work for you because the home favorites, they got crushed. 41%, 373 and 529. So you have a 3% differential between the home favorite and the away favorite. The away favorite has been more profitable, even though away teams as a whole haven't been. The away favorite is 45%, and the home favorite is 41%. So you're talking about a 4 percentage points differential. So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is you want to watch, you want to listen, you want to learn, you want to follow my content. I've been doing this for 3 decades. Pick up the phone and call Mike at the office and find out how you can come in from the outside, come into the inside. You want to follow us on Instagram. You want to follow us on Snapchat. You want to follow us on YouTube. You want to listen to our shows archived online and understand I'm not here to talk about individual games, locks of the years, or games of the month. The only sporting event I watch every year is from July 1st to July 23rd, which is my passion, is to cycle. And I'm not going to watch games. I'm not going to watch the CFL. I'm not going to watch the WNBA. And I'm not going to watch MLB. MLB is the longest, most profitable season if you understand numbers and you understand the difference between taking advantage of the point spread and taking advantage of the money line. Hope you've enjoyed this video. This is your second half season report. Grab a notepad, write down the numbers, don't bet road teams, and don't lay 1.5. Good day and good luck. Happy Friday.